This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0.
Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
We are bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir, how you doing? How you doing? We're doing a bit of a remote pod. It's a summer Muppetry pod. We're talking about the ins and outs. How's your summer going? How you doing today?
Doing pretty good here in a different bunker. Wish I was in the real bunker with you, sir. Hanging in there on a weekend. A lot of wildfires here in California. Shout out to anyone affected. But they seem to be calming down, which is great. And then some transfer news, sir. You know, late Sunday transfer news. It's rare, but we got a tight transfer window. Donny van de Beek. How you feeling?
Missed all about it. Just drove back from Tahoe. Had a nice little birthday weekend up there. Enjoying myself away from the
Happy
smoke.
birthday.
Thank you, sir. And, you know, all week, all I hear was just Chelsea just doing business. Our other teams around us doing business. You know, I kind of put my phone down for the weekend, didn't really check Twitter. Come back, and this guy's talking about Donny van de Beek. I had no idea. That Fabrizio Romano saying, here we go on a Sunday. But sounds good to me, sir. He's not Sancho, but he's a quality player.
I like it, sir. I do. I rate Donny. Watched the highlight video or two initially when Edwin van der Sar said on June 7th that it's clear that clubs like Real Madrid and Manchester United are showing interest in Donny van de Beek, special agent, ex-Manchester United goalkeeper, talking about Donny in the transfer market. Ajax likes to offload their youngsters. I think he's the perfect price for United. I think he slots in right for Bruno Fernandes and does a number in our team. I absolutely rate him. He's tall, Dutch, sir. Got it all.
No, it's a good buy, and it sounds like it's going to be a solid price. I haven't done enough of the YouTube videos quite yet, but apparently he's got like the right attitude, has like that kind of winning mentality that we saw in Bruno. Highly technical. He can play as an 8, as a 10, as a 6, so he can kind of play all over the midfield. And it's a bit of a unit as well. He's not, he's kind of like an Ander Herrera size player, right? So he can hold his own in midfield. So 23, a lot of upside. I like it. I mean, it feels like an Ole signing, so I'm all about it.
So our midfield, it's kind of interesting when you look at it. With Bruno, I asked myself the question, who was the most haggard player at the end of the run-in of Project Restart? It has to be Bruno Fernandes, right?
Yeah, he was pretty beat up. He looked tired by the end of it.
So, arguably, that's what we need, is we need another number 10, attacking midfielder. Donny van de Beek, that's the man. I mean, if you think from a depth perspective, like right wing, we got Dan James, we got Greenwood. You got Sancho. We definitely need a Sancho, but I like Van de Beek as a smart signing, makes us better in the middle of the park where we need it. He's attacking, break down teams intent to defend like the Burnleys of the world. I really rate Van de Beek.
No, I think it's great because I think he can play as a 10, but like I said, he can play as a 6, he can play as 8, and he can play all over the park because we just need midfield depth. We showed that, right? It's like Matic, great player, but his legs are going. Fred, maybe next year. But we need just more options in the middle of the park. I think Van de Beek is kind of, it's a great option to have. I think he'll get even better as he grows in the league. So I like the sound of it. Let's get it done. I want to see him holding up that Chevy jersey.
I can't wait till Chevrolet's off the shirt. Sir, quick PSA for the podcast. Check out our end of the season survey. You can see it's pinned on our Twitter profile. We're giving away a Manchester United jersey 2020-2021 player and size of your choice. Just fill out the survey. This podcast, for fans, by fans. We love your feedback. We try to get better every season, every podcast. So please fill it out. Your odds are pretty good. You can win a shirt. Wouldn't pick the third kit.
It's not the best. I mean, fill out a survey. We appreciate all the feedback that we get. Like John said, you can get yourself a shirt. The first one, some people rate it, so get yourself one while you can. Check out the blog. You're making some updates over the weekend, sir. It is looking like a fine-tuned machine, and we are only getting started there. We got merch coming in, more stuff coming there. if you can get a review on iTunes, we are still giving away free stickers. All you have to do is email us at americanreddevils@gmail.com. Give us your address, and we'll get you a couple stickers. What else we got, sir?
Sir, just drop a review on iTunes. It's very simple. That's how we're found. Website, exciting times. If you're interested in writing, you can reach out, americanreddevils@gmail.com. We're amassing some fan bloggers. Again, the American Red Devils is all fans first. We want to showcase all the differing viewpoints. There's been a lot of hate towards the Glazers this summer window, sir. They're feeling the pressure.
Rightfully so.
That's why they're making some moves. All right, formally jumping into it. Summer transfer Muppetry, it is on like Donkey Kong. I mean, there was absolutely no news out of Manchester United to start the window. Could you believe it? Like, there wasn't even like...
No, there was. It was Sancho, and then it cooled off real hot.
Yeah, so Sancho heavy.
Yeah.
2 days of Sancho heavy.
That was like 4 to 5 of like real heavy. And then it cooled off like ice.
Okay. Then nothing for, I don't know the exact dates, but like 2-3 weeks. Everyone's like, Glazer out, it's trending. Should always be trending, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, fans were demanding something happening. I don't think the Sancho deal, it seems to be, it could be done at the end of the season, but in haste, in some crazy type of term. But if I was Dortmund, I wouldn't sell because they have him dead to rights on the contract, and he could be worth 150, 200 million next window. If you really think about it, Real Madrid, Barcelona's going to rebuild. They're going to get that Messi money, sir.
Yeah.
Sancho, I don't know if Dortmund really need to sell him to United at a cut rate deal. So I don't see that budget, in my opinion. What do you think about Sancho?
No, I mean, I think the fact that we're moving for Van de Beek, well, it's a good sign, but I don't think we're going to do both. United should be doing both. We should be signing a Van de Beek and a Sancho and a center back, but I'm worried about the same thing you're worried about. I think if we don't get Sancho this summer, dude, other big clubs in Europe are going to try and get him, and they will get him. They're going to need a winger, an attacker, and we actually have some good options that might become for our players as well, for our Greenwoods, our Rashfords, and our Martials. But if you can get him now, I think you do everything you can to get him now. So if they're scheming something at the end of the window, I like the sound of it. I wouldn't count on it. Based on that, like ragtag crew we have running transfers over at Manchester United. But hey, we'll see what happens. But I like that. This is a good signing. I don't think we're gonna get Sancho as well. That'd be a solid summer. On to something.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Manchester United should be doing deals like Sancho. I think with COVID and the financial situation, they're probably not going to be doing deals like Sancho. But sir, I just had an epiphany while on the pod. Hot take on the pod: Van de Beek, Grealish player swap with Villa. Dalot plus Romero gets you Grealish, and then you do a Van de Beek. What do you rate that window? What would be your grade?
That's it. That's all you got. You got Van de Beek, and you got you love doing these like impromptu season grades. So explain to me. I got Van de Beek, I got Grealish, and I lost Dalot, and I lost Romero. That's my window.
So you get De Beek, and you get slick Jack Grealish.
Slick.
Slick.
I got no defenders. I got no center back. I got no left back. No right back.
Chris Smalling comes back.
That sounds like a C to me. That's like a C minus.
Sir, you're a harsh grader. That's all I got to say.
You know it. You know I am.
If you're listening to American Red Devils, Alex comes from the high expectation camp. I come from the low expectation camp, which is we're signing no one. So you get Van de Beek and Grealish,
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I haven't heard anything on Grealish. Interesting point. But I did see the Romero Dalot swap deal might be on the table for Grealish. We'll have to wait and see. There probably have to be cash involved too. If they value him at 80, a Romero plus a Dalot, does that get you to 45, 50?
I mean, I like the fact that they're thinking creatively. That's a good sign. Van de Beek, I know it's a player that we've, he's been following for a while. I think Ole's been tracking him for like 12 months. And that is something that makes total sense. Grealish is someone that we'd love to just add so we have options, but they're going to have a huge fee attached to him. I don't think it's going to take just a couple players. It would take like those two players and a big chunk. And, we have other signs we got to make. I think we got to sign a center back, don't we?
Unless Bailly gets healthy all of a sudden, then, but I agree. Center back's probably on the mind. So jumping into the Van de Beek timeline, June, Edwin van der Sar was quoted about Van de Beek, Manchester United. We did a little report on him. We said, look, he looks great. Plays attacking midfield, exactly what we need. Reinforcing the midfield. That's where we should be building this team. Then yesterday, Fabrizio Romano, everyone knows him on Twitter, quote, Donny van de Beek would love to join Premier League, and he's waiting for an official bid after clubs have contacted his agents over the last few weeks. Ajax will let him leave if any club match the price tag, around 40 million euros. Sir, that's like a deal.
Nothing.
Donny van de Beek.
23.
Are you kidding me?
He's a good player. He's a solid player. He's going to get better and better with age. Oof. I love this signing.
So, man, Fabrizio Romano tweets that. Twitter goes crazy.
I bet.
Another report came out that Solskjaer intervened and he convinced Van de Beek to make the move to Old Trafford. Basically, he kind of sold him on the dream. You're going to play. Hey, you're going to come to Manchester United. You're going to play with Paul Pogba. You're going to play with Bruno Fernandes. What do you think about that? Barcelona was linked to him as well. Barca's kind of been falling apart since the whole Messi deal. So Van de Beek, previously Van de Beek Barca looked great. You would rate Barca, but with Messi out of Barca, who knows what's going to happen there? So United looked like the better option. Plus, Ole probably promised him playing time at the same time.
He'll get minutes for sure. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games to be played. We saw that schedule. He'll get his chance, right? He's a solid player, and he's going to be fitting in often.
Then, right before we record the pod, about an hour and a half ago, Fabrizio Romano, he stays up late over there in Europe. Van de Beek to Man United. Here we go! Exclamation point, sir. That's
Here we go!
Manchester United tonight, as expected, has sent their official bid, and Ajax just accepted without any negotiation. Agreement reached for 40 million euros plus add-on paperwork and medicals next week. Van de Beek to Manchester United. You heard it here, sir.
How do I feel about that?
See.
Still working on these soundboards, so we'll get it right one time. See, I mean that's a signing. It's a good signing. We thought it'd be Sancho, but Van de Beek is a player that we certainly need. Seems like a good price. We got more business to do. It's the beginning of the window, end of the window. You think we got more business coming after this?
Sir, I'm not going to get greedy. Van de Beek getting in at that price, I think is great. I think next is the Woodward's going to be focused on selling the dead wood. That's got to be the priority right now. Maybe doing some player swap with Villa. Like you said, cheap center back. That's probably it. But again, still an important deal. I think Barca's been snoozing since the whole Messi thing. Real Madrid hasn't done any business either. I think we get a really good player under the radar for a really good price tag. Talk about a value buy. I rate that. It's not quite the sexy Sancho signing, but he's going to improve our team. Already great team, sir.
No, we have a very strong squad. This is the kind of additions we needed. We needed a bunch of these, but this is exactly what I was hoping for. A Donny van de Beek, 23, play all over the pitch, a lot of upside, really technical player, kind of like does a little shithousery, just enough. We need a little bit more of that. So exciting signing. Let's hope we get it over the line. Got to get some outs. The future is definitely bright. The future is very bright in Manchester United at the moment. Don't worry about Twitter. Twitter is a toxic place in general. But yeah, if you listen to that, they always rubbish according to Twitter. So don't worry about that. But things are looking bright.
One thing I really like about Van de Beek, he rates a challenge. An attacking midfielder who rates going in for a tackle. He's 5'11", so taller.
6 foot.
Sure.
Round them up. Google's on 6 foot, they say.
On the team sheet, but he rates a challenge. I like that. Bruno, him in the midfield, Pogba, those are some characters pulling the strings, or you can really see that young too, 23. Absolutely love it. Ajax want to do the deal before their season kicks off September 13th. I think this timeline is obviously great because, hey, it's going to be done next week. He's going to come get some training time with United. We kick off, September 19th against Crystal Palace. So we might be able to see him against Crystal Palace. We're in red. We're in the Chevrolet, baby.
It's going to be a great moment. I can't believe, was it like 3 weeks away? Football's back already. I mean, football's going to be back in 2 weeks, but United's not going to be playing, but
dude, it's great.
Nonstop. What are we watching? Is it on Peacock this year? Like, what's the new streaming platform I'm going to get bamboozled on this season?
Yeah, not much else to do in the pandemic, sir.
It's true. What a year it's been.
United are going to offer him 5 years. I'll take him until he's 28, which I think is great. The price tag is right in line with what United can afford. Based on my financial analysis, what I talked about, Jadon Sancho. Van der Vaart, if you remember Van der Vaart, he was quoted on a Dutch program saying, Donny deserves his transfer so much. He has played excellent for Ajax, and United need this kind of player in their team. This transfer is fantastic for us Dutch people as well. We're all going to follow him now. This move is so deserved. So Van der Vaart, the mediocre Tottenham striker, he signs off on Donny van de Beek. So I don't know if that's cursing him or it's worthy criticism.
Hey, we've had some very good Dutch signings at the club. One being the director that was probably influential in getting this deal done. I'm sure Van der Sar, was like Real Madrid at the moment. Go work with Ole. They seem to be onto something. So I think that is a good sign. And I think he made a late appearance in the final in the Europa League when we played them. So young lad that's been showing a lot of promise for a long time. I think he's going to fit in well. He does have that mentality. He likes to put in a tackle, like you said, just like Bruno, right? He's like an attacker, but he has no problem tracking back and just like doing a job, whatever it takes. Team player and a winner. And we need those elite winning mentality because this club used to be just chock full of them. The whole starting 11 was like elite winners, and we need more and more of that. It's good stuff.
So you think we're biased on this transfer?
Oh, just a little. Biased on every transfer? Biased about everything? Yes, I do. I'm just generally biased.
Anything that we haven't covered on Donny on De Beek?
I guess I'm waiting for I haven't watched the highlight videos. I mean, usually like midfielders don't have the best highlight videos. It's not like Sancho or he's just banging them in. But how do you look? Solid?
No, yeah. I think it's perfect, adds depth in a critical place for us, right? That's like, I really think that Pogba, Van de Beek, Bruno, midfield, that clearly it's kind of interesting how you line it up, whether he just subs straight out for Bruno or you put him in a 2. You get really aggressive with Pogba, put him in a 2. I think he can do both, personally. It's just, I don't know Ole's vision, but I hope it's something like that where it would just be like lethal. Like he's unbelievable. I think he'll score 10, sir. He's probably good for 10.
Oh, here we go. We'll talk about that in a second. But the big thing is going to be how he transitions to the Premier League, right? Like Bruno didn't skip a step, but Van de Beek might need 6 months. He might even need a year because he is young and it is the Dutch league, that he's stepping up from. So we have to keep that in mind. But every transfer's come off this far for Ole, so we're expecting the same. But eventually, he's going to need a little time, I would think.
Are you saying he's due for Howler?
No, I think this is a good signing.
Falcao?
This is not an Obertine. This is not an Obertine.
You just jinx Ole live on the pod, sir?
I'm not jinxing. I'm hedging.
All right, moving on. Some United in the news. There's been a lot of United news as of late. Paul Pogba self-isolating after contracting COVID-19 while on vacation in Dubai with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Feel better, Paul P. Again, these breaks, these vacations that United players have been taking have been a little worrisome. It was kind of one of those things where I saw United players just jetting around to Greece. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? We got a season in like 3 weeks. You could get COVID. That takes you out for 2. Sir, what is the deal? They should just be hanging out in England. Get a yacht, something.
It's funny because if it was just Manchester United, I would be like, oh my God, what's Manchester United doing? But it's like every club because all the players are like, dude, we just went through the most ridiculous season. We're gonna go get blotted around. We're gonna go hang out with our wives or our family or whatever. You can't blame them, but they all just seem they pieced. They didn't think about it. A bunch of them got COVID, and it's probably gonna mess up the early weeks of the season restart. I don't know if everyone's gonna have like a fully fit starting 11.
No, I think that's going to be the case. We have some easy matches to start that might give us a break. And also Nemanja Matic, he's got to self-isolate for 2 weeks when he returns to the UK because he retired from international football, which means he doesn't have sort of that special pass regarding travel restrictions. So Matic coming back, going to have to hang out by himself, can't train. He's a veteran, though, so, if Van de Beek comes in, I think that might give Matic a little bit of rest at the beginning of the season. I think that'd be good.
Well, Fred's going to get his chance. Don't worry. El Pastor will be back in there.
Yeah, and Fred will get his chance. I think that could be good for Fred.
No, he needs minutes.
Last time he got a lot of playing time. That's when we saw his best form.
Totally.
So even as a Fred hater, a known Fred hater, I would say that he's capable of doing it, but I think he needs more minutes. That'd be good for him to start the season.
I think he will get those minutes, and I'm looking forward to him taking advantage of those minutes, making the most of it.
It's COVID, unless Fred somehow does us dirty and gets COVID.
He might have he might get married again. He might marry the same woman again for the third time.
Could you imagine doing a wedding twice, sir?
No. Why would you do it twice? Brutal.
Like once.
God, punishment.
Once is enough. And then I think one transfer we have to address on the pod before we get into the Harry Maguire news, because the Harry Maguire news, that's just a riot in and of itself. Messi basically did not report to train today. This is something where, we rarely cover moves on the pod. They don't have to do with United. But I think the last one we talked about was Neymar. But Messi, not reporting to training, wants to go. And of all the places he wants to go, sir, it's the noisy neighbors. He wants to go to Man City, reunite with Pep Guardiola. This is some shit news. This is some really bad news. This is the only thing that can offset the shittiness of this news is Cristiano Ronaldo remembering how great of a club Manchester United was to him, and he should come back and win another title and, point up in the stadium at Sir Alex Ferguson and do us right. Just do us right. Come back, sir.
No, I mean, we don't need to bring we don't need to bring Ronaldo back to do it right. To do it right, you'd buy Sancho. That would be your move. You'd be like, okay, you got Messi legit, but he's 30. He is Messi, one of the greatest of all times. But you got to be like, we can't get Messi, so we're going to get Sancho because he's 20 and he's a top talent, but they're not. They're going to let him go to Real Madrid next year because it feels like that already. Like 2021, he goes for $150 next year, no problem. But it sucks, dude. It sucks big time because Manchester City is a joke of a club built up by oil money that just it's whatever, whatever. But it's kind of a shame. I get it. It's like because Pep, they got the Pep Connect, so he wants to go play for him. They got plenty of cash, so they can pay his $100 million a year contract.
More, sir, more. So
they're giving him more than $100 million.
The deal that is rumored, La Marca. This is from Spain. 5 years, 3 years at City, 2 at NYCFC. Salary of €100 a year. Total earned over the contract over the 5 year, 750 million, sir. He is Messi. One of the most insightful things you ever said on the pod. He is Messi. Yes, he is. There's only one of them.
And he is
and
Messi.
He wants to go join Shitty. Manchester Shitty are lining up a 750 million euro deal. Can you imagine that, sir? That's the deal. It's that if that is available, you
do that deal. You do that deal. And the funny thing is, bro, he's going to be so good even after 3 years. He'd be like, they're not going to send him to City yet. He'd be like, he's going to be like winning so much stuff in England for City that he'll stay. He'll do 5 years at City, then go play 5 years in America and score 40 goals a season, bro.
I'll tell you that this is one where
this tastes bad.
United fans don't want to talk about it, but it's just. It's tough. It sucks. It's just tough to see. I like Messi a lot. Even though he beat us at Barcelona, you got to respect the game. He's a great player. And also, you love to see Manchester United having the ambition because at the end of the day, being able to get one of the greatest footballers of all time to come in, probably retiring your team, plus the USA Connect, it is worth that money.
It is.
That money, it's actually worth that money. And it's for a brand, it's for everything. United look like the house that was
has-beens, baby. They call them the has-beens.
The house that was redone in the 90s looked good once, and they didn't put a fucking dollar in it since, and it's fallen apart. And someone moved in next door and built a fancy new house, and it's like, yo, time to upgrade, son. Time to upgrade the stadium. Time to get Sancho in. Time to demand the Glazers spend that cash, sir. We're dying. Billion out. City $1 billion in, maybe even $2 billion in if you think of the Messi deal, sir.
They know what they're doing.
Ownership at United. We need ownership that want to win at United, sir. We have to have ambitious ownership. It's a crime.
No, if we don't match their ambition this window, we're going to be left behind. They're bringing Messi in for a bumper deal, and they're building the team around him. And you're right, he's going to retire there, and it's just you have to realize how many plastic Barcelona fans are now going to become City fans. They're going to have so many bullshit City fans because they have Messi. Messi brings with him hundreds of millions of fans just because he's Messi.
I don't want to be those fans.
No, I don't either. But we should be having the best talent come, and that's why I don't need Messi. He's the man. He doesn't want to join us. He's the one to play for Ole. I get it. But we should be getting Sancho, dude. We have to be that's how you react. It's all right, you get Messi, we're getting Sancho. Instead, we're not, but we should. That's how a United that was legit and wanted to contend with the best, be the best, to remind people who they are, would do that. They would be all right, 108 million for the best teenager in Europe. He's not even a teenager. He's 20. Best 20-year-old in Europe. That's what you do.
No, and you're absolutely right. Because what it is like Manchester United, and I guess as a United fan, like, dude, fuck City. I hate City. They're the worst. They can never buy our history. They can never buy anything. Like, even if they sign Messi, it doesn't really matter in the long run. Manchester United, you go to the history page at americanreddevils.com. Like, we got it all lined up, sir. Like, 100+ years of history, rich history, winning titles in 1906, sir. Like, first Community Shield. Like, you read the history, sir. It's just, you can't buy that, you know? Form is temporary, class is permanent. That's how open and close the book when it comes to City. But they're trying to buy that, sir. With getting Messi, they're kind of buying cred. They're buying worldwide cred. They're buying those new fans, and that's something that United needs to slap back and like buy Sancho. We need to like show our intent. Like, yo, we're a titan of world football. City is kind of like stepping up, and we haven't like clapped back, sir, and we need to clap back with Jadon Sancho. Excellent point. I just feel like the clout on the other side of Manchester.
It's growing. It's growing, right? You're right. We have to make a statement of intent to match everybody else this window, right? Chelsea are throwing mad cash at Frank. He's gonna get shit canned in a year, bro. Like, he's not gonna win. They're gonna fire him so fast after all the money they spent. Don't get me started. But we have to match our neighbors, right? Liverpool. If they don't spend, they're going to get left behind, and they might get done by their American owners like ours. But City, dude, they're going to be spending big cash, and we need to step up, because if not, we are going to be left behind, and we're going to be like AC Milan or Arsenal, bro, and you'll never catch up then. And then it's too late. It's like we have more than they do, because we are the greatest club dude, the greatest of English football. We've won them all. We have to remember who we are. But at the end of the day, it's like we have to keep up with everybody else, and we've got a great academy, we've got a great squad, but these big signings are important, right? They prove that you're still the biggest club in the world. You have to make those like big deal signings. Like, Pogba was an important signing, and Sancho in 2020 would be important to keep this club, at the top. It's
it's going to be a hell of a season, sir. We beat them, We beat them 3 times last season, right? And you add Messi. I don't even want Messi, right? You put Messi in our team, it's like not that great. I really like our team. I like the direction. I like where we're always headed. But you're right. They got to back the manager. We got to show intent, because we're like 3 or 4 like really quality players away. We're like so close. Like, it's a long-term vision. This is like what we always thought. And I think the Glazers are going to try to string that out because of the cash crunch. They could go raise some money in the equity markets and like bail us out, but they're not going to do that because it takes out of their pockets. So at the end of the day, I think we're going to see a slow build as long as Ole's backed. I rate our team more than shitty, sir. And I hate their fans, their stadium, everything about it, But Messi, something about having Ronaldo or Messi. I want Ronaldo back. Why won't he come back? What do you think? Why does Ronaldo not want to come back to United?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Probably because like he already did it once, and he had a very special experience playing for Fergie. Without Fergie being at the club, I don't think I don't think he was ever going to come back. I think he was actually maybe going to come back if Fergie didn't retire in 2013, and that was actually the rumor of when he might have come back. And if that had happened, can you imagine what would have happened if we got Ronaldo back and Fergie stayed on? But anyway, but I think it's like he could probably make bigger money elsewhere. They're not going to, probably doesn't want to play for Ole, and that's fine. I don't think we need Ronaldo. I think we have. Ole's onto something, and you could tell he's onto something, and the next chip up, the next piece that like pushes you up a notch into the next tier is a Sancho level signing. Like, it gets you into the elites. I think it does, because like you have Pogba, we got AWB, we got Bruno, we got Marcus Rashford, we got Martial, but then you get like a Jadon Sancho who's just like tearing it up in Europe, and it just shows like you're not fucking around, and we have to remind people who we are. We do.
Yeah, Dude, fact check. Manchester United promoted to the first division in 1906. They won their first title in 1908, sir.
There you go.
Just
well done. Keeping us honest.
I gotta get it right. Got a little excited there in that rant. All right, sir. Our last segment here, transfer Muppetry. Harry Maguire, our favorite slab head. Where do we begin, sir? He's out in Greece getting fired up. This has kind of been beat to death here in the press. Comes back to the UK. He did get found guilty. Gareth Southgate gave him the boot on the England side. Can't be having found guilty for trying to bribe a police officer on the England team. English press, all the rags printing boo-hoo-hoo, Harry Maguire. I back my captain 100%. You should be able to go get hammered in Greece. These cops, they're getting a little cheeky here. Like, they're throwing the book at him for, like, no reason. Like, Harry Maguire came to spend money in Greece, and now you're just like, all right, I don't know.
Well, this is like a little bit of, you could tell that stuff in Greece, like he's a wealthy player, famous name, gets into a scuffle. I'm sure, like, shit got a little shady. The cops are saying one thing, he's saying the other. I tend to agree that, like, I don't think he did anything that outrageous. I would imagine, like,
probably in the middle.
Probably somewhere in the middle. Like, he probably overstepped some lines, but sort of the cops, and they're all, like, positioning in the press. But the real thing is that, like, the Daily Mail and all the other rags, bro, they all just step in line to trash a United player. That's, like, the thing is, like, they're so eager to, like, the captain of Manchester United is like, let's get all over him. He was, like, talking about how much money. They just were making up all these, like, crazy quotes about what he was saying to the cops about all his money and now who I am. And it's like, I don't know. I don't think Harry Maguire talks that way. I think they're making a big deal of this story because there's nothing else to talk about. And I also think like, dude, he's Harry Maguire, and, like, remember, go back to the 90s, what the players were doing in the 90s, or the 80s, 70s, like what they were doing, having beers at halftime.
Ask Ryan Giggs' brother, bro.
Oh, please, don't bring it up.
I like that dude, legend, man. Yeah, United always have. I'll tell you what. I think this is a benefit as a fan. This show, Harry Maguire has a little dog in him. I think he came in last season. He tried. He's really tough, but I think he needs a little bit of edge. And when it comes to motivation, Harry's going to want to prove everyone wrong here. I think he's getting the short end of the stick. No one's believing his story. The press was harsh on him. It's kind of like everyone's against you. He's got to come out. He's got to have a great season. He's got top Virgil van Dijk. Got to boss it. I think this will be good for Harry Maguire in the long run. I also like my captain having a little dog in him, sir, ready to go.
Don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. Don't mind it at all. Are you kidding me? It's like good. I want him to get into fights. The real problem is that he got, like, his vacation ended short. That makes me kind of bummed for Harry. Like,
you know who I am, bro? You know who I am? I'm Harry fucking Maguire, captain of Manchester United, baby.
I think more likely he just, like, started headbutting people, and he probably, like, headbutt a couple cops. Like, they just got in his way. He's got a giant head.
He seems like a really nice
No,
gentleman.
he is a nice guy.
Sure,
everyone says he's a nice guy.
Man. Look, even if you're a nice guy, you're out in Greece. Things get hand, baby. It's like it just happens.
Shit happens, dude. Shit happens.
Like, some people have nights like that out in Greece, sir. And when you're Harry Maguire, it has ramifications in the press. Get a yacht. Get hammered on a yacht, sir. That's all I gotta say.
Should we hear what Harry has to say about himself?
Yeah, he had to come back, do the big BBC interview. Are you sorry, Harry? Let's hear it.
Are you sorry, Harry? Let's hear it.
It's the first time I've ever been inside a prison, and yeah, it's been hard for myself, but I think probably it has been a lot harder for my family. I don't feel like I owe an apology to anybody. An apology is something when you've done something wrong. Do I regret? I regret being in the situation. I don't wish it on anybody. Obviously, the situation has made it difficult. I play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, so I regret putting the fans and the club through this. But I did nothing wrong. I found myself in a situation where it could have happened to anybody and anywhere.
Sir, I love that. Like, I'm not apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong. And he's right. I bet, like, you know what? I bet you he probably didn't do very much wrong, except getting too drunk and being a little too famous on too small of an island in Greece. It's like, Harry Maguire, bro, class act. He thought, he's like, I don't even want to be here. I want to still be in Greece. But he's dealing what he needs to do, and he's, showing his face. But I think it's because, like, really, the English press have vilified him so hard. Like, he did the most horrible things. But actually, he was standing up for his sister, dude. And that, like, anyone with a sibling at all can respect that. Sister, wife, mom. It's like, dude, I mean, come on. End of, right? It's like, whatever. Forget it. Not a big deal.
Thing like he was like being taken somewhere where it was like some vigilante move where the guy like drove him to the police station. Like, like it's like, that's very strange. So look, I back my captain. I just hope this gets him fired up on the pitch, gets him fired up to want to make the England squad again. It's like when you face adversity, there's only one way to come through it, sir. And that's what I expect from my captain, Harry Maguire. If he wilts under the limelight, under the rags, then see you later. He wasn't worth the $80 million. But we need someone that will. I believe in Harry Maguire. Always have. I do rate him. I think he'll come through. Interesting enough, Ole's giving him extra time off.
He probably needs it.
He's been extended. His break has been extended. He'll let Ole said the 27-year-old English defender can return at the weekend, sir. So he gets an extra week. The other players are coming back this week. Most are due back Wednesday. They got to do the COVID testing and doing training. But obviously Pogba won't be there. AWB won't be there. And Harry Maguire, Mr. Fighting Around the World, won't be there.
Maybe Donny van de Beek will, but I agree with what you said. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. I think Harry, he got a lot of slack this season. We threw some shade based on the price tag, but he was a solid player all year, really shored up the defense, and I think he's going to get better and better. I think he could really use like a competent center back next to him to make him even better. But Harry, dude, we stand by him. Slab head, dude. I love that head. Look at the size of that thing. He's going to bash in some goals this year. I know it.
Dude, I like Harry. He gets a lot of hate.
Does.
Harry needs some love, sir. Podson, and much love, Harry. We'll have you on anytime you want to come on. Sir, fan questions at Billy Badfinger on Twitter. Grealish is a chance making machine, but Van de Beek is like Ander Herrera with a lot more technical skill and football intelligence. They're saying we're in for Thiago as well. I think the Sancho deal is done. It's gone really quiet on that front, not a whisper. Thoughts on them, sir? What do you
if we got Sancho and anyone else, it would be an excellent window, because like getting Sancho, I think it's.
He said Van de Beek and Thiago.
Okay, well, there's a mention. I thought I heard Sancho about being done. Van de Beek, I agree. He's like a Herrera-esque signing. We were talking about that earlier. He's highly technical. He can play everywhere. I really like that transfer. I don't think they're going to get Thiago as well, even though I think you could use another player like him. He's a solid player as well, and I would take him. I don't see us getting both. Right? I don't know personally, but the price is pretty good. I heard 30 million euros. That's not bad. And he's won some stuff. He's a veteran, and he can kind of slot in all around the pitch as well. So we do need depth. No,
absolutely. Next tweet at Dave Paz, quote, have you guys heard the rumors of the Ortega family from Spain wanting to buy the club? How true is it? I don't know. So essentially, the Ortega family, really rich family. I've heard two different families, one that owns Zara. I don't know. That might be the same one. People talking about there's interest around people trying to buy Manchester United. I'll tell you one thing. Manchester United is up for sale. For sure it is.
They're on the block. They are definitely on the block.
100%. The rumors last year, the Saudis coming in, United wanting a pretty significant premium to their stock price. Obviously, they own the class of shares that has complete change of control rights, so it's up to them to do a deal. They obviously own the club, sir. I think where they're at is they've definitely bled the cash down. They're definitely like at the end of an LBO. How it works in finance is after you just bled that horse dry. It's run all of its races, got all the money out, you shake all the money out of the horse, and it's on its last legs. You usually ditch it to somebody else because someone will come in, basically buy it out for cash, balance sheet, and then they basically own it straight up, new ownership. I think that's what they're basically. They did it smart, right? That's kind of how they're running it.
It's the same thing as the scene in Goodfellas. It's like when you stolen every bottle of booze you can, you're like driven a place into the ground, you burn it down. And it's basically like they've taken every cent out, and then now they'll just sell it and make like a shit ton of cash and walk away. Yeah. Zara family is flush, dude. I mean, if that's the family it is, they're one of the wealthiest families in the world, and definitely the wealthiest family in Spain. So they would have the coin, even though I don't know how well Zara's doing at the moment. But I doubt it. That's a lot of cash. 5 billion cash. That's a lot of moolah.
I bet you 3 billion would do it. If I look at their market cap, kind of where they're at. But basically how you run this company, like this United with the stadium and with the balance sheet, they need cash. They need a fresh injection of cash. Glazers are in the business of taking out cash. So a new owner would come inject that money. I would love someone who didn't have a human rights violation, just so that we have that, talking shit chip with the Chelsea fans, the City fans, etc. Sir, enough about ownership. Next tweet at Ike_Yagola. Ole needs to be backed in transfers, but shouldn't he be looking to boost his technical and coaching staff also, sir? Question to you. Shouldn't he be hiring the American Red Devils as lead scouts?
No. We don't know a damn thing. I would like us to hire someone to work on corners, defending and scoring off of corners, because I think we can get better. I think we've gotten better. He's definitely better than we were his first season, but we're still not nearly as good as we should be. We concede far too many. And that's like special teams in football, right? It's like it's just practice. Like I imagine that's just discipline. And if you do it enough times, you could get good at corners and get good at defending and scoring from corners. And we got to be better. Manchester United.
Sir, it's called the Harry Maguire Dunkaroo.
Exactly.
That's the play. I got the name of the play, the Harry Maguire Dunkaroo. You kick it up the Harry, slabs it in the goal. Sir, the fact we're not seeing that a lot, some clever movement, opening up Harry Maguire at the back post, something like that. Get a corner guy. I'm available. That's all I got to say.
Highly available. You're very available. Hire him now. Cheap rate.
At next tweet here, at BryGuy666. New transfer window, same United fuckery. Rumors don't seem to be heating up from the last few days, but you just never know. Credit to BryGuy. This is before Van de Beek news popped off. Is he right? The window underwhelming? I mean, clearly, right?
It's early, though, to be fair. It feels like, oh, man, it's almost September, right? We should be done with our business. But actually, there's like 5 weeks of the window left. There's a lot of time to get business done. And that's the funny thing about this, right? It was bad. Last week was, you didn't want to be on Twitter. It was a dark place. But all of a sudden, Van de Beek, right? I got home from my trip and like people were texting about Van de Beek. I didn't know, sir. I had no idea. But that is how these things happen. We'd heard about attracted to or attached to Van de Beek for 6 months, 9 months in the rags. But then all of a sudden, a tier one's talking about it and we're like, game on. And that's how fast this stuff happens, which is kind of cool.
At you boasted on Twitter, quote, how desperate should the club be? Our best 11 can still compete for top 4, in my opinion. Obviously, in a perfect world, the club brings in 1 to 3 starters are almost starters, sir. So what would be your ideal amount of players you would sign this window? And what would be those positions?
I mean, I would like at least 4 players. I would like a midfielder like Van de Beek. I would like a Sancho, a center back that's good enough to play a decent number of games, not like just like a 21-year-old that's ready to make the next step up, and maybe cover that left back, right back, right? So like that would be my 4 I'd want. And they don't all have to be ready to start tomorrow, but like a couple of them do. At least 2 of them have to be ready to start, I would think. So what do you got? Who are you thinking?
I would take Van de Beek, Sancho, and that Gabriel who signed for Arsenal. Those are the 3 I would do.
That would be an A.
Football. If I was the director of Football United, it's not enough, but it's enough to get all the fans jazzed up and to consider competing for a title with City that get Lionel Messi.
That center back they have at Monaco, who Real Madrid are trying to sign, he looks another unit. There's a couple of these, like, I'm telling you, these like
Koulibaly, baby. Koulibaly.
No, he's 29 and City are going to sign him. But we should sign just like, there's a lot of good young French center backs that we just got to get one of them. Just get someone. Just keep buying center backs.
At Bleeding Red SD 11, quote, can you guys just go on a big rant about how shit the Glazers and Woodward is? The only thing that makes me feel better, sir. I mean, I think we have had a few of those already in the pod. But, I mean, green and gold, the club sold, sir. The Glazers taking money out. We need owners that put money in. It's absolute crime. This club means so much to us. Best club in the world, sir. Manchester United goes without saying. We were talking about that earlier, Best club in the world. What does Chelsea think they're doing buying all these tiny tots, bro? They ain't going to win nothing.
Don't worry about Chelsea. Don't worry about Chelsea fans. If you need a reminder of how we feel about the Glazers, about Ed Woodward, go to our website, americanreddevils.com. Check out the open letter that was just written by the Logical United on our site. That's how we feel. Where are the signings, Eddie? Where's the director of football, Eddie? Nothing's changed. Same old story. We're the most ardent Glazer out, people you can find. So we're happy. We can do a whole pod on that, but it gets a little old hat.
I'll tell you what, the Manchester United organization is all about taking the maximum money out with putting the least effort in. If you think about everything they have going, like MUTV, you think their app, their merch, everything, just like the services, it should be like Amazon Prime. I should be paying Manchester United Prime every year. I get like all
Tons
these
of gear.
benefits. They send you some cool things. Like it's like unbelievable how their thinking is so like far gone, and the stadium being in shit condition. That also makes me upset. Is like Old Trafford. If you think about when this thing was bought, it was like, if you read the history, it was literally bought in the 1910s, sir. It has like been built out. It fit 100,000 people when it was originally constructed. On the lawn.
I know.
And this place is like breaking down because the Glazers are taking money out of the club. It's absolute shambles, sir.
And Everton are building a new stadium, like a massive new state-of-the-art stadium. That's intent. That's Everton. We gotta keep up.
Yeah, Everton's signing Jaime Rodriguez, Jaimes, and getting a new stadium, sir. I butchered that name.
Did better than I could.
Last tweet here at I Note It All, quote, I'm pleased by the Donny van de Beek rumors. I might be in the minority here, but I think finding a backup number 10 is the second biggest priority behind a right wing. Bruno can't play every game, and United needs a guy to keep the engine running when Bruno is out. I totally agree. I think Ole found something in his team where Bruno kind of unlocked everything, and you kind of need, you can't have Bruno do it every game, right? And Motta's not going to do it. Jesse's not going to do it. So you need that the Beek in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, this is that's probably it. Actually, now that you say it, the priority is really to because Bruno did look haggard at the end. We were really riding him hard. He's an option, and I do think he'll be slotting in a lot below and actually playing with Bruno. But the fact that you said that, it's like you just give Bruno a rest and play Van de Beek as 10 behind Pogba, in front of Pogba. It's just options. You want options, and just see where they unlock, where you positionally put them, and where the players play the best. I think there's gonna be a lot of messing about at the beginning of the season.
Absolutely, and the if you think of our front three, they benefit from a number 10 really unlocking the show, right? So it's like the way Ole has formed our team, how we want to play, that number 10 playmaker role is so important, both attacking and defending. If you look at the effort that Bruno puts on the pitch, it's unbelievable. And I think Ole just found that really unlocks the attack. It makes everything work. And obviously Matic can't do it. Pogba can't do that. They're much more traditional sixes, sir. So you have to look at kind of how Ole wants to line up and what he found worked for United. And if they say you're tight on cash, Van de Beek's the man.
He's a good signing. I'm excited about this one. We got to do more, but it's the right type of player. It feels like a Bruno signing as well. He's got that edge, and I like it. I like it a lot. We need a little Dutch. That's good.
Absolutely, sir. That is the podcast Summer Transfer Muppetry in the books. Can you believe it? I mean, so much going on. You got COVID. You got signings. Van de Beek.
Slabhead in Greece. Guilty. Yeah, whatever. Harry's doing all right. It's been a hell of a summer. Crazy. And there's still so much window left. United always leave it late. So maybe we'll get some business done in September.
Absolutely. We'll be getting you guys a pod every week until we're back. We'll also be doing the survey recap. We'll be doing the state of the pod, going through all your answers, some cheeky banter in there. We absolutely appreciate it. As always, American Red Devils for fans, by fans. We don't have any ads. You can support the pod. Check out our store. We're getting some new merch in. You can visit that, www.americanreddevils. Write a review on iTunes. Sir, it's been a hell of a week for downloads. Any chance you got that list of the top downloads coming up here?
I do, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to go top to bottom for you right now, sir. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
All right, number 1, how you doing? Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 2, Herndon, Virginia. Boardman, Oregon. North Adams, Massachusetts. Number 5, Oslo, Norway. Dublin, California. Number 7, Ware, United Kingdom. Raleigh, North Carolina. Nassau, New Hampshire, and last but not least, Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. So thank you, everybody, for the downloads. Big week for us. Summer doldrums, dog days of summer, but signings. Fabrizio actually said, here we go today. Didn't even know that until basically turned on the pod, sir. So great stuff going on.
Van de Beek to Manchester United. You love to see it. I'm waiting to go full celebration and watch all the highlight videos until he's showing that shiny Chevrolet, sir. The shiny Chevrolet.
They save that piano. Just no piano videos. That's all I ask.
No one wants the video. Just tweet it out. Just say you did the deal. Just do the deal.
Yeah.
Keep it
simple. Look,
it's been a real podcast, sir. As always.
Kicking a blue.